Have you ever looked at someone's shiny new SUV, their designer watch, or their latest vacation photos and thought, am I falling behind financially? It's a gut punch, right? Our culture has trained us to measure success by what we can see: cars, clothes, and trips. But here's the twist. Those aren't always signs of real financial health. That dream vacation? It might be sitting on a high-interest credit card. That big house? It might come with 30 years of mortgage payments that keep its owner up at night. The truth? Real wealth is quiet, sometimes invisible. Some of the most financially secure people you'll ever meet are the ones not showing off because they're too busy building. And today, we're going to break down 5 signs you're doing far better than you think, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Pay close attention because I guarantee that by the end, you'll either feel a wave of relief or you'll have a clear roadmap to get there. Sign number 1, you live below your means. Let's start with the big one, because if you have this, you're already ahead of most people. A MarketWatch study found that 57% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That means they have nothing left once the bills are paid. But if you have even $300 to $500 left over each month after covering your needs and a few wants, you've built something powerful: margin. Margin is your breathing room. It's what lets you save for an emergency fund, invest for your future, or take advantage of an opportunity without stress. Now, living below your means doesn't have to feel like punishment. It might just mean driving the reliable car you already have instead of upgrading, cooking 3 extra meals a week at home, sharing streaming subscriptions with family instead of paying for 5 separate ones. These little moves widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap? That's the engine of wealth. Every unspent dollar is a soldier fighting for your future. Quick check. If you've been doing this without even realizing it, you're already on the right track, even if it feels boring. Sign number 2, you're reducing or free from debt. Let's talk about a huge hidden win. If you're actively paying down debt, or better yet, debt-free, you're light years ahead financially. The average American owes $90,460 in personal debt, and that's not even counting a mortgage. Student loans alone? $1.6 trillion nationwide. That debt can feel like a backpack full of bricks. It slows everything down. But here's what makes this a sign you're winning. Every payment you make toward debt is like taking bricks out of that backpack. Eventually, you set it down completely. And from that moment on, all that money you were sending to creditors? It's yours to keep, invest, and grow. Imagine this. You have $5,000 on a credit card at 20% interest. Minimum payments could cost you over $10,000 and take years to pay off. But if you get aggressive, pay it off, and redirect that $200 monthly payment into investments, over 20 years, that could be over $100,000 in your pocket. Even if you still have debt, if you've stopped adding to it and you're chipping away month after month, you're in a position most people never reach. The fact that you're aware of it and have a plan to reduce it puts you ahead of millions of people who just ignore it. Sign number 3, you have an emergency fund. This is your financial moat, the thing that keeps you safe when life throws curveballs. Financial coach Dave Ramsey says you need 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved. And NerdWallet reports that over half of Americans couldn't handle a $1,000 emergency without borrowing. If you can cover even double that without panic, you're ahead of the game. Picture this: you lose your job. Without an emergency fund, panic sets in, bills pile up, and you take the first job you can get, even if it's a bad fit. But with that cushion, you can breathe. You can look for the right job. You can negotiate. Here's how to build it. Start small. $500 is your first win. Increase it to cover 1 month of expenses. Keep adding until you hit that 3 to 6 month cushion. It's not just money, it's confidence. It's knowing that even if the unexpected happens, you'll be okay, and you can handle it without wrecking your financial future. Sign number 4, you pay yourself first and invest consistently. This one's a game changer. Most people save whatever's left, which is usually nothing. But you pay yourself first. That means the moment your paycheck hits, you send money to your savings or investments before you pay bills, buy groceries, or hit checkout on that online cart. And here's where it gets exciting. Even small amounts snowball thanks to compound growth. A simple $25 per week, invested for 30 years at 7%, becomes over $130,000. If you bump that up when you get a raise, you could be talking about a portfolio worth hundreds of thousands. And yes, this includes retirement investing. Social Security only covers about 40% of what you made before retirement. If you want the same lifestyle, you need your own savings to cover the rest. And remember, you don't have to start big or with risky stocks. You can begin with your 401k, especially if there's a company match. An IRA or Roth IRA. Low-risk accounts like high-yield savings or CDs. The magic isn't in guessing the next hot stock. It's in staying consistent, no matter what the market is doing. Your future self will thank you for every dollar you put away now. Sign number 5. Your net worth is moving in the right direction. If money were a game, this would be the scoreboard. Your net worth. That's everything you own minus everything you owe. Most people never even check the score. They just keep playing without knowing if they're winning or losing. But if you've been tracking it and you see it inching upward over time, you're doing something most people aren't. Here's why it's so powerful. Net worth growth is slow and sneaky at first. You might not notice a difference month to month. But then, a year later, you look back and realize you've got $10,000 more than you did before. 2 years later, maybe it's $25,000. That's the moment it clicks, this is working. Think of it like planting a tree. Day to day, it looks the same. But season after season, the trunk thickens, the branches stretch wider, and eventually, it gives you shade, fruit, and shelter. I know someone who started with a negative net worth. Student loans, credit card debt, zero savings. They tracked it every month. The first year was discouraging, but by year 2, they had broken even. By year 5, they were sitting on 6 figures. The only magic? They just kept growing the gap between what they earned and what they spent, and tracked the scoreboard. So here's your challenge. Check it monthly. Some months will dip. Investments go up and down, unexpected bills happen, that's normal. But the long-term trend should be up. And when your net worth reaches 25 times your annual expenses, that's the point where work becomes optional. That's the scoreboard telling you, you've already won the game. Red flags to watch for. Even if you have these signs of financial health, there are warning signals that can quietly pull you off course. Catching them early keeps your progress safe. Number 1, financial complacency. This happens when money feels handled and you stop paying attention. Maybe you haven't logged into your bank account in months because you assume everything is fine. The problem? You might miss a subscription that crept up in cost, a fraudulent charge, or small spending leaks that quietly add up. Wealth isn't a set-it-and-forget-it game. It's more like tending a garden. If you stop checking in, weeds start to grow. Number 2, borrowing to make it through the month. If you find yourself using credit cards, payday loans, or borrowing from friends and family just to cover regular expenses, this is a flashing red light. It often means your expenses have outgrown your income, or your emergency fund hasn't been replenished after a big hit. The longer this goes unchecked, the harder it is to get back on track. Number 3, surprise bills knocking you off balance. Life throws curveballs, car repairs, medical expenses, home maintenance. If one unexpected cost derails your budget for months, it's a sign your safety net isn't big enough. A well-built emergency fund turns a crisis into an inconvenience. You pay it, refill the account, and move on, without touching your credit cards. Think of these red flags as the financial equivalent of a check engine light. Ignore them, and you risk bigger, more expensive problems down the road. Address them quickly, and you keep your financial engine running smoothly. Here's the thing. If you see even 2 or 3 of these signs in your own life, you are already doing better than you think. You've got momentum, and momentum is everything in personal finance. Wealth often doesn't feel exciting while it's happening. It feels like saying no to things other people say yes to. It feels like driving the same car for another year. It feels like putting money into an account you don't touch. But fast forward a few years, and those boring choices create an exciting life. A life where you can work because you want to, not because you have to. A life where you can travel without checking your bank balance. A life where emergencies are an inconvenience, not a disaster. So, don't measure yourself against someone else's Instagram feed. Measure yourself against your own progress. Every dollar saved, every debt paid, every month your net worth grows, that's another step toward freedom. Because real wealth isn't loud, it whispers. It shows up as peace of mind, control over your time, and the freedom to live life on your own terms. If you're on that path, even if it doesn't feel like it, keep going. You're doing far better than you think. Before you go, hit that like button so more people can find this and feel encouraged, and drop a comment telling me, which of these 5 signs are you already doing? I read every single one. If you want to go even deeper, watch my video on the 25-50-15-10 rule, the exact money system used by the top 1% to grow wealth quietly. I'll link it right here on screen. This is Mindcraft, where ideas become action, and action becomes your future.